or brake components, etc. As areas that we can grow as well.
What about the, you're thinking about RFD?
The RFL?
Yeah, the RFL.
So refrigeration loops, we produce double-ended refrigeration loops. So it's me for cat. We have a formulated product, so that complies with R134A. We don't have a range at the moment for the 1234YF. However, we're looking to reformulate to get a foothold in that market. We think it's a relatively quick process. When I say quick, within 12 months. Whereas if you were to reformulate a fully formulated gear loop, talking 2 years, 3 years.
Is there any value add to supplying a few components, sort of blended components of a final lube formulation, and is there any value add to doing that?
I don't think there is. No, I considered it just a month ago.
Okay.
And I think the risk is too high. You're giving away your know-how. And a lot of this isn't just throwing a few components together. It's how you put them together.
Right.
It's your knowledge of that. We formulated before. So the technical services manager of the PAGS, who worked here in Cochrane's times, went to BASF during the takeover. She came back to us. Right. Muriel has got that knowledge of formulating. It took a long time, so we know what's involved. We know the resource that's required. If we want to grow that fully formulated market, we need to reformulate to get this Flender approval. That's where you're going to get growth. We will still grow on the formulated side for the gear loops, but it's slow. And it still add value. But you could get more if you were Flender approved. But you've got to throw time and cash at it. So to give you an example, Flender approval is 45,000 euros. And if it falls down at any stage in that approval, you've got to start again. So it's another 45,000 euros because you've got to make a tweak, and then you've got to start right at the beginning. So you've got to put a lot of effort into this. The reason why we haven't done it previously in the last 3 years because it takes a lot of resource, and we wanted to focus in other areas.
Yeah, sure.
There was more to just the fully formulated market.
Aside from the technical know-how, right, these people that you're listing, I mean, is the equipment, in order to be competitive within these spaces that you've named, like compressor lubes and refrigeration, is the equipment the same? Can you repurpose what you're doing now to play in those spaces to formulate, or is it kind of a different set of equipment?
It's the same equipment. We're talking about formulations rather than your hardware to produce. So we use the same reactors, the same blend tanks. It's about what you're doing with those molecules to change characteristics. And that applies to all of our product range.
And it's still primarily European. 90% of your business, so you're still focused mainly in Europe.
That's our core, but we're gaining traction in the US.
Okay.
Right? The volumes, we have a big US account, bulk account. That's the TB business. In fact, it's a US account, which is the most profitable out of the whole TB business. We have to ship all the way to the US to make money in that business compared to Europe.
Is that you?
Cost. Right? So it's crazy. We have to ship thousands of miles to make some cash compared to Yeah. Just think what we could make if we had a plant in the US. And that's where we struggle in the US. We're building a pack business in the US, drums and totes. And we're getting some good value out of that. The volumes are creeping up, they're getting higher and higher, stronger margins. But we can't get any bulk business.
It's pretty fragmented, isn't it? The US ag market's fairly fragmented.
Yeah.
You're getting some currency uplift on that.
Yes. Yeah, we are. Recently we are. But also you can command higher prices, especially on PO-based products. EO in the US is cheap. We can't compete on the high EO content. Right, but PO is only just a small difference between the two. And the other thing, even though we're producing in Europe, we hold stock in the US in a warehouse in New Jersey. It's Reagan. North Bergen, isn't it?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. So we hold pack stock there, and we also have a distributor in the US that we work closely with. It's the same distributor that we have for Europe for packs as well. So we have very strong links with those, and they're making a lot of progress. We know where the bulk accounts are. We've done work with quite a lot of customers to supply them, but we're not competitive. That duty, that freight, not being local, hits us.
So, do we sell much more of this in distribution than direct than our typical sales?
If you exclude cost, I think the majority of US sales are through distribution because they have the market reach. You know, the IMCD is the distributor in the US. They've gone through a strong growth phase by a lot.
By a lot of distributors, yeah.
Right, so now they have a pan-US reach, which fits with what we want. We don't want fragmented. That's what it used to be in the US. We got no traction whatsoever.
Yeah, distribution market. Europe is much more consolidated.
The IMCD are trying to use the European model in the US and make it consolidated. And it's working as well.
Steve, how much margin you have from innovative products R&D in the last year?
Yeah. So, is there any more questions on that? Before we move on?
Just quickly, just on the high-end parts of the market, so you mentioned compressor lubes, brake fluids, refrigeration lubes, foam control. Are there many other high-end applications, or are those really the four core high-end
So
applications?
the LL packs, so you've got the silicone polyethers are add value to the business. They're a growth. And so you're ranging, for those you're ranging from €1,000 to close to €2,000 a ton.
And they're used in what application?
It's the hydrosolation, or it's the, it could be polyurethane foams, is one of the applications. The others I'm not too sure of, maybe care chemicals.
I think most of it they're used by additive companies who are making defoamers, and the big market is foam control for polyurethane foams.
Yeah.
So less of a defoam, more about controlling the
These are very specialised. They're not easy to produce, so that's where you get your value. There are competitors out there, but it's not as broad as a bog standard base one. The caps, we also cap these alloys as well. It's even more specialised. There's even more value in those.
And your guys' capacity for PAGs is what?
It's around just 12,000 tonnes sales capacity. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. And does it vary much by product, the cycle times, or is it pretty consistent by product?
Well, the batch times.
Yeah.
Allows are slightly longer.
Yeah, there's a degree, right? You go from 24 up to 48.
Okay.
But you also have a treatment phase as well. So the beauty about the way we mix this is the foam control is generally neutralised in the reactor. So if you've got something in treatment and you don't want to hold up the reactor, you can start it, finish it, get it out. Right, so mix is important. And that's why another reason why we focus on FCCs. We knew from our history of the business that you needed to have non-treated products. It's cheaper, quicker batch times, and it doesn't give you bottlenecks in treatment. All right, so that mix is important.
I think the other thing we've got here that we sometimes forget is that art, the production art, of knowing, avoiding cross-contamination, knowing what should follow what. We thought that BASF would have problems in matching some of that, didn't we?
Yeah,
Build up over years.
Yeah.
That art.
You've done a lot of work on that. Can't do on each product.
Been doing this for a long time. How do you gauge your